Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is a peek behind the curtain. This is actually a re-recorded video. Wow. Liam and I were in person over the weekend, and we did record this trailer thoughts video. However, upon going to edit, there was a very big echo throughout the whole thing. Literally, it just repeated everything twice. So we just have to re-record, which it's fine. So I mean, most of our takes aren't hot fresh takes anyway.
That's the way to get people hooked, Connor.
So it's
nothing
not
new
as if
here, folks.
nothing new here. It's fine. People come here for our witty remarks, not our hot takes. I think that's fair.
Sure,
and even then, they're not that witty.
We make
it's
the same
fine.
jokes every time.
Exactly the same jokes.
I just think they're
yes. Yes. I thought about saying that, but I thought, no, you know what? I'm not going to make that. That's too obvious.
Because we do that all the time.
God, yeah. Anyway, yes. There was a 60th anniversary trailer. The second full trailer, I guess. Third, actually. There was one after Power of the Doctor. There was one at Christmas, and now there's one. This is the third 60th trailer, official
title announcement trailer.
Title announcements, yes. This came right before Eurovision kicked off, last 2 weekends ago now. Only a short 30-second little montage, but yes, it revealed the titles. The first one being The Star Beast, the second one being Wild Blue Yonder, and the third and final one being The Giggle. David Tennant's and the 14th Doctor's final appearance, The Giggle.
The Giggle.
We assume final appearance.
As we always thought of. Oh, yeah, he'll come back eventually, will he?
Oh, yeah. But will he come back as 14 or 10? Oh, who knows?
Both.
We'll find out in the 70th anniversary.
When Shooty regenerates into David Tennant again.
Oh, could you imagine? He plays the 16th Doctor as well. Just every other regeneration. Every other regeneration is David Tennant. It's somebody do with David Tennant. There's somebody do with David Tennant.
Yeah.
Why not, huh? Why not? It's all a fiction
I can think of a few reasons.
Just have him back for a Christmas special every other year. Just have it.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Don't even explain it. He's just the Doctor.
No, yeah, they just don't say it. They stop explaining after the second time. They go, that's fine.
People just they know to expect it.
This is it. Yeah. But yes, so those three titles, what are your immediate thoughts on them, at least?
I think they're good. They don't scream 60th anniversary, but as long as they're relevant to what's going on, I guess they don't really need to. I guess it's better than just something that sounds 60th but doesn't actually relate to what's going on, because who knows, maybe the actual episodes don't really feel like the 60th. We'll have to find out in just 6 months. It's creeping up. We're getting there. We are getting
literally there. It probably will be 6 months. 6 months today, we'll be in the thick of it, pretty much, won't we?
That's true, actually. Yeah, we probably would have seen at least 2 of the 3, I would hope.
So
that's exciting to think that. But yeah, we're like midway through like the longest hiatus I think we've had since the show came back. So we're getting through it. We're powering through. But yeah, I am intrigued by the titles. They did leak earlier in the day. So it was cool to kind of at least get that confirmation. So better than them leaking a week before this trailer, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they do intrigue me. Wild Blue Yonder, I think, is the one that particularly intrigues me. That feels like something poetic and nice that maybe is a reference to a real life thing that I just don't know. But maybe it's like a Tardis kind of thing. Who can say? I mean, we're not going to know until it's there. So now I need to rewatch, because first today we said something about Star Trek, didn't they? They said one of the titles in Star Trek. So I wonder if that's Wild Blue Yonder. That feels like something Data would say or something.
The Giggle.
So yeah, they just said or the Star Beast probably would be a Star Trek thing. Actually,
yeah, that's true.
So we'll see. I'll need to rewatch Picard season 3 and try and pick out which one it was. Oh no, what a shame! A really good Picard season 3. That's a shame. But yes, I think they're fun, intriguing ones. I love the Giggle. I think that's hilarious, as it should be, I suppose.
Gave me a right giggle.
Yeah. And they do feel kind of separate. So is it going to be like very separate stories? Is there going to be like interlinking? The fact they're all going to air in November makes me think they are going to be pretty linked, and are we going to have like an overarching bit and stuff like that? But yeah, title wise, I am intrigued to see exactly how they tie into it. The Star Beast is the most Doctor Who title of the Doctor Who titles, so
well,
I'm
it's
intrigued to
already
see.
been used in Doctor Who anyway, so
It's true.
It cannot be more Doctor Who.
Yeah, God, Doctor Who copying itself again.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited to see what that entails, and then the giggle's going to be this really happy-go-lucky title, and it's going to be the most fucked up piece of television you've ever seen. So I am intrigued to see the Doctor Who horrible spin on that, as we often get with like statues and shadows and kids wanting their mums, the most terrifying things of all. So we're going to be going through it, just like 14's and clearly going through it. I think we're going to go through it with him. So
he's going to have a really tough week, isn't he? He's just going to appear and everything's going to go fucking batshit and he's going to die again. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
It's that Wikipedia meme, isn't it? It's just like birth, depression, death. That's just going to be 14 like in quick succession.
Yeah, it's that. It's literally that. God.
But maybe I'll have a few moments of fun. I don't know. Either way, I'm happy that we have some titles. I'm sure people who are making like those posters and stuff on Twitter are very happy to have those titles as well, because that helps their art. I'm sure the AI generators are thrilled to have the titles to use as well. It's cool to feel a little bit closer to the specials now we actually know what they're called.
And if we go through the trailer, we assume that all the images that preceded the title are from that episode. That's kind of the implication it's giving. Whether or not that will be the case when it actually comes to November, we don't know. But the start of the trailer it basically looks like your fairly standard meet cute with the 14th Doctor and Donna and her family. Looks like it used a lot of the footage that was shot at Camden. Is that right? Camden Market in London, which was about a year ago, actually. Looks like it's a lot of that. Rose is there, Donna is there.
What?
That's not Rose Tyler, Daily Mail, Independent, national media outlets. It's another Rose, which I'm sure they'll do a reference as to the name.
Maybe, they'll play a bit of Doomsday or something.
Yeah, because I mean, Donna's
for a few seconds.
Donna's had, you could argue that Rose had a big impact on Donna's life with the whole turn left thing. So it kind of makes sense that there'd be a little bit of a.
She remembers her fondly.
And especially if she's got part of the 10th Doctor sort of in her anyway. I was trying to figure another way to say that, but there was no other way.
There's some fan fictions there.
After touching, there could be an element of that anyway, and that's sort of leaked into.
It's going to be like leftovers of her memories, isn't it? It's why she likes that name.
Yeah,
it's like in the next Doctor when he's like Rosita, lovely name. It'll probably be have like a moment of that, I imagine.
And then because it's a trans character, it could be that it's just stories that Donna's been talking about. Because assuming that Rose picked her own name. Rather than Donna giving it to her, unless she consulted Donna and said, "What do I?" Who knows? I'm sure it's something linked to.
It's going to be a wink little scene, and then they'll move on.
Yes, for certain. But yes, there's all that. There seems to be the nice little Wrath attack going on. They look really cool. I think. Very interested to see if they're going to be a one-off villain for this episode. If they're only going to be in the first 10 minutes. Or are they going to be throughout the 3 specials? Just this episode? Is it going to be we've defeated them? Oh no! Now this has happened, and then it goes into the next one. I don't know. And I think we can safely say the Beep the Meep appearance at the end of the trailer is probably from this first episode as well.
I guess,
where Donna pokes his squishy eye in the ET homage, which I quite like. I'm curious to see where they go with Beep. Whether if his comic origins, whether they stick to that exclusively, or if they go a different route entirely, I don't know. Either way, I think it'll be a standout character from, at the very least, the first episode, if not the whole of the 3 specials. But what were your impressions from the footage that we saw, or we think we see from the first special? What are you expecting from that?
Yeah, I mean, Beep. Beep is such
Mr.
a weird
the
thing
Meep
to talk
or Mrs. the Meep.
Yes, the Meep. The Meep, Beep. They're one of the things I'm most excited for, I think, about the specials from what we know of them. I'm very intrigued, particularly by the villains of these specials, and if there is like a big bad, if there is just one per special, how it's all going to tie in. Because we have a few potential contenders for big bads going on. Neil Patrick Harris is probably would get my vote as like who would be the overarching man, but who knows?
Yeah.
But like all the creatures we're going to see, like Beep, yeah, kind of what you said. Like, are they going to stick to how it plays out with Beep in the comics? Or is there going to be a twist to the tale for the 5 people that know about that before they watch the episode?
But
Maybe
you can
they'll change
guarantee
something
there'll be
up.
hundreds that are annoyed if they change it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there'll be hundreds who are like, "Oh, I grew up loving Beep the Meep. They mean so much to me."
It is comic issue that was never reprinted. Oh
yes. So, I remember seeing set pictures, being like, "What the fuck is that?"
no, thank you.
But no.
Horrifying.
But then there are rumors like Miriam Margolyes is going to voice Beep the Meep. I'm like, okay, I'm on board. I'm with you. So yeah, would it be something like that? Is there going to be something else going on with it? Is there going to be twists to the tale of Beep the Meep? Is it just a 1 episode appearance from them? Is it just like a little cameo from them to set something up, like setting up the overarching thing or something? Who can say? But yeah, I'm very intrigued by all of that and how much time the first special is going to be actually just reintroducing these characters. The people, some people are going to be watching this not knowing who these are, so they're going to have to spend some time reintroducing Donna and stuff to them and them explaining who they are and stuff like that. So I feel like
flashbacks.
Yay. That's how they get Tennant. They'll do flashbacks, I imagine.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that they do have 3 specials does mean they have time to do that, which is good. So I am intrigued by how much plot versus character stuff there is, in particular with the Star Beast, and how that kind of plays out. It really does depend on structurally, like the plot wise. Is it individual stories? Is it a 3-parter? Who can say? But I'm excited.
Yeah. Yes. The second episode, though, it seems to be very mysterious. It had these all sort of glitchy, redacted things that the little teaser trailers leading up to this one sort of had as well.
This is the one that I think will be the 60th.
Yes, it wouldn't surprise me maybe if this is the one that's the big one, the fan servicey one. There'll be some reveals in there, I'm sure, some nice little cameos, maybe some returning Doctors, but it depends where it's all set. Some people have suggested, it's Matt Smith's TARDIS and it looks exactly the same, but I don't subscribe to that theory because it's slightly too
I thought they wouldn't risk putting
light grey, but
yeah.
And
I've just googled Wild Blue Yonder, and it's the sky is viewed during daylight, or the atmosphere and outer space as viewed from the Earth. So there you go.
Okay.
Space.
Well, maybe Beep the Meep spaceship takes off, and they're just stuck in it. It's a bottle episode. It's just the 2 of them for the 60 minutes.
Can you imagine? Donna dies 5 minutes in, and it's just
it's just David Tennant. Hey, that would be interesting. You never know.
You'd have my respect.
Yeah. And we don't really know. The Doctor's saying that he's sorry to Donna. What's that about? Is that because she's gonna die? Is it because she's remembering stuff? Who knows? We really cannot say anything else because we know nothing else. Just that David looks very dishevelled with no coat on, his ties loose, his sleeves are rolled up.
I love a Doctor I can relate to.
Yeah,
his costume's so good though. I love his costume.
It is. It works in all aspects. And then that leads us on to sort of the 3rd episode, The Giggle, which we see a little bit more of. Again, this was a lot of stuff we saw in this section as well was stuff that we've already seen filmed. This was stuff filmed in Bristol again almost about a year ago. A year ago next month, I think it was either June or July. Because I remember it being very warm, and I felt so sorry for them having to dress in these big coats and all that stuff, because it was set around Christmas time, so they had to sort of be all covered up. And this is where we see Neil Patrick Harris doing a little dance in the street while things happen.
And
there's a guy on a motorbike with a little red mohawk thing. Donna's there pushing Wilf, although you don't actually properly see Wilf in the trailer. You just see the top
his hat, don't you?
The top of his head. So he's there, but from those little scenes, at least, it doesn't give much. There's a weird base maybe where the 14th Doctor's like, hey, look at this shit, and it's a weird ventriloquist doll
hate them
on the TV that according to people on Twitter is something to do with the first TV video broadcast. I think this guy, similar to the Edison phone call, that was in what episode is that in? Father's Day.
Yes.
Similar to that one, except with TV with this ventriloquist doll, which I'm sure will be fun. What do you think from that one? If I'm honest, from the things we've seen, that I'm not getting the vibe of this is the big finale, but you won't necessarily see that in the 2 seconds.
No,
but
I don't think we're seeing anything from near the end of any of these episodes in the trailers. So who knows, basically. But it was cool to actually be like, oh wow, this is like some of the first stuff we were seeing from them filming this. Like finally, like we're seeing like the final scenes of these in the trailer. So that was kind of exciting to get those. And they did have a clip of Michael Goh's laugh as the Celestial Toymaker from the 60s. So is that confirming who Neil Patrick Harris is at long last? Probably. Which would be exciting to see how that gets adapted for the modern day. Or are they just playing with the 10 people who knew what that was on Twitter and then told everyone about it? Because I certainly wouldn't have been able to tell you, because that story doesn't exist, so I've never seen it. So well done to those people who really do the deepest of dives into classic Who. Yeah. So yeah, that could be intriguing if that's where it's going. And that is an iconic villain from the classic series that hasn't come back yet. Probably iconic because its story doesn't exist, and because it's Michael.
You can't rewatch it, yeah.
Yeah, you can watch Telesnaps if you're that interested in it, I suppose. But yeah, I am intrigued as always to what that's going to mean, what they're going to do about it, how any of these villains we're seeing are going to be stopped, how how one of them might kill 14, or is he going to trip over a brick?
I guess that's
going to punch him so hard he regenerates. Who can say?
But I reckon. Do you reckon that it'll be I need to use my regeneration, my life force to save Donna from dying? Do you reckon that's what it's going to be?
I'd hope there is a consequence to whatever Donna's ultimate fate is again. Either, I mean, I don't think they're going to kill her, and they should, but they're not going to. I'd be pleasantly surprised if they do, because I am still worried that they're just going to undo a very, very good companion exit with this. But as long as there's a consequence to it, I think I would be able to deal with it. People are kind of saying maybe 14 gives up his memories of Donna so that she can then remember him. That'd be a good reason why she doesn't just rejoin him, other than the fact that she has moved on, got a family life now and everything. So maybe there's that. So yeah, I could see that being the case. Maybe David Tennant saving someone's in the noble family's life and regenerating all over again. I guess there's some cyclical nature to that. Maybe
it would be terrible. It would be absolutely terrible if Russell has made Wilf kill the Doctor again. That's the reason why.
Horrible.
For the second time.
Don't put that out there.
For fuck's sake, you old man! I can't believe I'm doing this again. God, could you imagine?
They're just in that situation. He's like, no, not again.
Sorry. Yeah, it's exactly the same situation.
No. They're giving me another chance. No.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't you dare knock on that glass. No.
Yeah,
I'm leaving. I'm not listening.
Hopefully they don't do that, because that would be very harsh.
God. Funny though.
And again, I mean, yeah, it would, but just the same story beat again 15 years later. I don't know if they would. I imagine they might do something very, very different with however 14 goes. If it's even going to be some kind of regeneration, if it just morphs into Shooty somehow. I don't know how it's all going to pan out. Since he is the 14th Doctor, I assume he does need to properly regenerate and stuff. So
yeah, unless they reveal, they could reveal in the specials that he's not actually the 14th, and it was all just a marketing ploy, to
I would very much appreciate that and like that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me. The same way as they could release all these titles and then go, actually the episodes are called this, and
imagine we sit down to watch it and episode 1, the giggle. Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Or even even episode 3 they call it the giggle, but then by the at the end it's just death of the Doctor or something like that. You're like, oh, okay then, something.
Oh dear.
But I doubt they'll do that. But it's they could. They can just do whatever they want.
Why not?
But yeah, I mean, was there anything else from this little teaser, this 30-second teaser, that sort of stuck out to you the most?
I mean, I think the opening lines from Donna when she's like, why did this face come back to say goodbye? Because that's going to be feelsy, I imagine. And hopefully broke our hearts all over again. So yeah, I'm fully prepared for that to maybe hurt me in the feelings a bit. So I think Donna's probably going to be like the heart of these specials. And for better or worse, we'll see how that ends up for her, I suppose. But yeah, it'll be exciting to kind of see these characters again, even if I don't really buy into the fact that we should be seeing them again. They might do something really, really special with them. And we will find out in just 6 months. It could be 6 months tomorrow. Like you might be getting something, or I mean, even if the special doesn't air on the 23rd, because I know it's midweek, they'll give us something on the 23rd, I'm sure. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it's
because with the
50th, Minnesota again.
With the 50th, it just worked out that the 20th of November was a Saturday. I'm like, oh, wow, it was meant to be. So we'll see how it goes this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do something, but what can you do when your episodes are already airing, I guess?
That's true.
Because it can't be like a trailer for Christmas, can it? Because,
if they do like a mini prequel to each episode, then they could just release the one for the third one.
Yeah,
or something.
Exactly. Or they could announce spin-offs at that point. Who knows? I mean,
we might announce the Rose Tyler Earth Defense spin-off.
Yeah, exactly. We might get some news tomorrow if we're recording this on the 22nd. Tomorrow's 23rd of what month are we in? May. True. They could release some news. Unlikely, but you never know.
They may.
We always say, there'll be no news, and then all of a sudden there's loads of news. So
you're always like, let's do a roundup news video. We haven't done a little news roundup, and then we're like, Doomsday. Yeah. And then they announce Jonathan Groff trailer Eurovision.
Oh no, terrible.
Matt Smith returns.
Yeah, imagine that. That'll be what's announced tomorrow. But the one thing that's missing from this teaser is Ncuti. He was obviously in the very first one. I don't know if he was in the Christmas one.
No, I don't think he was. It was just the one.
But he was in
the Doctor.
Yeah, in the first one. We know from Russell's notes in Doctor Who magazine that background of where he is isn't where he actually is. It's just a placeholder. So maybe they just can't show any more of him because all of his scenes are in a location where they don't want to give it away yet.
He might be in the new Tardis for all we know.
Well, that's it. You got to think of the only places that could be spoilery are a new TARDIS, a different TARDIS,
something we'd recognise. You'd imagine.
Yeah, or the Edge. I don't know what. There's no other sets that you can be like, oh my god, it's that. Except for a TARDIS or a cliff.
They haven't just blurred out all the Noble family dead in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
And killed them all.
Could you imagine? What a twist. But it must be somewhere that's very spoilery. It's all Slovene. He's on that Taurus, and it's just Slovene behind him.
Why would you put that in my head? Because that's all I want it to be now.
That's all I want it. That's all I ever want it to be. But yeah, I think it's interesting. There is still 6 months to go. I think, and again, Russell spoke about this in Doctor Who magazine. They said they've got a pipeline of content sort of coming out between now and then, and they've got it all extensively planned when they want to do all these little announcements and trailers and such, to kind of keep you going, oh yeah, it's coming. And I think that for a lot of people has gone, oh my god, it's been this long, it's only this long left, because I think people have sort of not realized the time's going by because they've been drip feeding this information.
I know it's so funny when people like moan like, oh, they've how long the gap was between Legend of Sue Devils and Power of the Doctor. I'm like, we still got longer to wait for the 60th than we did then, and people are like,
I know. Well, people also complain that they're marketing the show already for November, and then when they market the show, they're like, oh my god, this is great, I can't believe they're marketing. I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want to market it or not?
Doctor Who doesn't market itself enough, but it also markets itself too much, apparently. So.
Yeah, too early and too soon. So it's just if you're
going to watch it no matter what. So
you're going to watch it anyway. So, yeah. So really, these trailers are for you because you're going to see it anyway. And if you're that first, don't watch them until a month
these trailers are for my dad who forgets everything immediately after watching.
It's for the parents, because everyone that's complaining hasn't seen these trailers on live TV. They've seen them all put online. So you can easily avoid it.
I spoke to my dad last week and he's like, when does Ncuti season start? And I was like, oh, well, we've got the special with David Tennant first. He was like, David Tennant's back. I'd forgotten about that.
See, so that's why they keep doing it.
That's who the trailers are for.
Yeah, that's why they keep doing it. That's why they keep putting them in front of TV cameras at the NTAs and all that stuff. It's to keep them going. And it wouldn't surprise me if, we spoke before that Comic-Con's coming up, I think in July. They've confirmed that they're trying to go to that, so it wouldn't surprise me if we get some more footage or announcements from that. Whether that'll be announcements about the 60th or Shooty series is,
depends
if sure.
Disney are funding it or not, them going out there.
It's true.
Confirm the musical episode, you cowards.
Yes, exactly. Release a song from that one. Release song for 10-2. That's all I want. Just put song for 10 in
Journey's End. He doesn't need a song.
We've got enough original music already in the show that we could just steal from all those Christmas specials back in the early 2000s. Just take all of them and put them in the episode. Why not?
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
You put The Devil in Me. That makes a nice little comeback. Imagine the song that the opera singer sings in Christmas Carol. That makes a comeback.
Yeah,
I think that's a real song though.
The Rings of Akaten songs.
Yeah, that one comes back.
The real musical episode.
Yeah, literally. Whichever one it was from Voyage of the Damned. What was that one? Song for 10 was Christmas Invasion. Runaway Bride was Love Don't Roam, I think.
Right.
I can't remember what Voyage of the Damned was.
Fox is singing Don't Stop Me Now for Mummy on the Orient Express.
Yeah, that's true. Oh God, what is it? I think it's just like the Stowaway or something like that. Right. In Voyage of the Damned. I can't remember, but they went on a real run, 3 in a row of original music at Christmas, and they didn't need to, but hey, they really shoehorned it into Runaway Bride. Didn't need to do that one, but the other ones make sense. Wow. Anyway, after that tangent, we'll leave it there. Who knows? We could be back tomorrow because they might announce something else.
It's true,
but we'll probably be back this weekend with speaking of Christmas, it's
Christmas.
It should be the Snowmen, shouldn't it? If we're about.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll be back.
Fucking boiling.
Yeah, I know, boiling hot, and then we're watching another Christmas episode. It always happens. But yes, the next review will be Snowmen, unless we are back with more news before that. But
unless they announce Jenna Coleman's return in the 60th.
Could you imagine? It could happen.
She's never
Anything's possible.
How dare you? Chris Ferguson and Jenna Coleman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Tom Baker, I don't think he's ever going to come back either now at this point. I think he's done.
Oh, he hasn't got long.
I mean, he could do voice work, I guess. You could have him.
He's been doing voice work for years, really, isn't he?
Yeah, he's probably got loads of stuff. You can AI generate his voice for years to come. Big Finish, you're already signing the contracts.
Curry sauce.
Oh, God. Oh, terrible. Right, we will leave it there, and we'll be back later on. Bye-bye.
Bye.